We have Mahima with us talking about what is happening with the FMCG sector and the reason that you're seeing that kind of an excitement. Mahima, a lot of brokerages also reckon that the next government will focus on rural spends and that will in turn help the FMCG sector.
Right, Tamanna. So since the past 2 trading sessions, we did see a surge in the FMCG stocks, and this is because markets are now turning to a defensive play. I'll start with the top movers in the last 2 trading sessions, where Radico Khaitan moved the most with 8.5%, then Godrej Consumers with 7.8%, Marico with 6.8%, and then United Spirits and Tata Consumer Products. Now, key factors which are leading to this positive outlook, well, a couple of things: political climate. The current government's status may lead to increased focus on pro-consumption initiatives. Also, rural revival is something that is on the cards of a lot of FMCG's company. We are seeing green shoots in the rural demand. Also, we are seeing a turnaround in terms of demand, and a favorable monsoon will also lead to demand surge. Then, in terms of welfare reforms, where a renewed attention to welfare reforms is expected, and this will uplift the lower income segments, which will eventually translate into a higher consumption, which is why these FMCG stocks are buzzing. Now, in terms of rural green shoots, well, couple of reasons why the rural demand is recovering: uptick in farm income, declining food inflation, and expanding distribution footprint. Now, in terms of what the brokerages are saying about these FMCG stocks, I'll start with MK on consumption stock. Well, what they're saying is they've upgraded HUL to buy, Nestle India to add, and ITC they've downgraded to add from buy, considering the current market conditions. And they now prefer stocks like HUL, Dabur India, Bikaji, and Honasa. Then we have Prabhudas Leeladhar on FMCG stock. They're saying that favorable monsoon forecast and future RBI rate revision will drive the consumption sector overall. Their top picks are HUL, Britannia, Godrej, Marico, Dabur, Imami, and Varun Beverages. Lastly, in terms of revenue and margins, outlook in terms of FY24, revenue is expected to have a double-digit growth, with Tata Consumer witnessing an 18% growth in terms of revenue. In terms of stocks like HUL, ITC, Marico, Dabur, Nestle will have a growth between 8 to 11%. But in terms of margins, there is no expectation, there is no kind of margin expansion on cards as per the Bloomberg estimates. Hardly a 1% expansion may be seen in some companies. In terms of valuations, well, high valuations with marginal dips will take place. Currently, these are the top 5 companies as per market cap and their valuations, and we are seeing that the valuations will not change in FY24 to a lot of extent. And lastly, in terms of analyst recommendations, well, a lot of analysts are still bullish on the FMCG sector, where ITC, Dabur, Marico all have a lot of buy calls and a lot of hold calls as well. So this is the overall view on FMCG sector and why it's buzzing in trade in the past 2 sessions.
Right, thanks for that. Thanks for that. And that's a great sense of what you should be watching out for. Remember, we'll talk more about this tomorrow as well with our guests about whether FMCG now still deserves a mention in your portfolios after the run-up that we've seen.